Students, I hope you're doing well. I am glad to have spent this year, or whatever part of it we were together, with you. This is going to be our last study skills video. I know that we have 2 more weeks until May 8th that we can keep teaching new things. But I would like you to be able to spend that time on your other classes that may need a lot of work. So we're just going to end it here. I'm going to go through really quickly one more time the executive skills we were working on, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? So planning, organization, time management, working memory, metacognition, response inhibition, emotional control, sustained attention, task initiation, flexibility, and goal-directed persistence. Remember that these executive functions mean these are the functions that we use to execute everything we do. So first we talked about planning, the ability to create a roadmap to reach a goal or complete a task. I think planning is the key to everything else. If we can plan, I mean, maybe it's hard to follow through, but if we don't plan, everything else sucks. I don't know. Planning is really very key. So remember to create a hiccup there. Create a schedule for the task and include many details, maybe too many details. Break long-term projects into smaller tasks with deadlines, and to use a template for planning. Task initiation, that's just getting started, not procrastinating, right? I think that task initiation is the opposite of procrastination. So when possible, begin the task right away when it's assigned. If you can't begin it right away, plan when you will do it and start right at that time. Plan sufficient time to complete it by your deadline and remove your distractions. Do you remember when we talked about this in class? I talked about how, when I give my kids a task, a chore to do, and they know how to do the whole chore. They know how to unload the dishwasher, reload the dishwasher, wipe the counter, sweep the floors. But there may be something sitting there on the counter that they've never seen before, and they'll be like, "Mom, what do I do with this? Mom," and they'll follow me around until I tell them what to do with this. So that's what that bottom one is. Think, what can I be doing right now if I don't know what to do next? Start on those other things. Don't get flummoxed by the one thing on the counter that you're not sure what it is, okay? Emotional control, being able to keep control of your emotions, which is really tough when you're a teenager because your emotions and your hormones are really together, and so your hormones might start running hot and then your emotions do too. So make a list of behaviors you can do instead of allowing your emotions to grow, or some replacement behaviors. Maybe you count to 10, maybe you count to 100, maybe you take a walk away from the situation. Practice using your replacement behaviors at low or medium emotion times. Don't wait until your emotions are high. Practice using them when they're easy to do. And use positive self-talk. Calm down. You can do this. Have faith in yourself. Metacognition. Guys, I have to say this is the one I learned the most about this year. I think there are a lot of things about metacognition that I didn't know. So the goal of metacognition is to be able to transfer your knowledge to a new situation and therefore remember it long term, okay? So here are the steps for metacognition. Identify what you know, identify and work on what you don't know yet, and adapt to fit the time, materials, and skills. So when you're starting a new math assignment, when you're starting a new part-time job, when you're starting at a new school, when you have been given something you don't know how to do, identify what you do know, identify what you don't know yet, and start working on it, and adapt. Adapt, 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 because maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe you don't have enough materials. Maybe you don't have enough training. That's what continual monitoring of progress means. being able to use metacognition means you take a step back and look at everything you're doing from kind of an outsider's point of view and make sure it's all working. Look at that, so much about metacognition. Working memory. Our big task on working memory was to play Couch of Power and to remember each other's names multiple games in. But remember that you can't remember everything. In order to free up your working memory to have it, to be able to use it, you have to get rid of some things. That's why taking notes so that you don't have to remember every word that's said, or setting alarms and calendar notifications so that you don't have to remember every task that's coming up. This is why it comes in handy, because then it frees you up to be able to remember other sequences of things if you don't have to remember those. And maybe learn to play chess. Sustained attention, being able to focus for a long time. As it turns out, almost everything we learned about sustained attention was actually sustaining your attention for a short time and then taking a break to give your brain a break. Being able to use a timer and say, okay, I can take a break in 15 minutes. I just have to focus for 15 more minutes. Or getting up and taking a break physically, or removing visual distractions. So when we talk about sustained attention, and I'm one of those people who has the gift, or actually it's more like a curse, I can stay focused on something for a very long time, like 8, 10, 12 hours. I can sit and work on something if I want to. If I don't want to, I can't work any better than anybody else. But if that is not what you have right then, if you don't have focus or even hyper focus like me, then building in some breaks and negotiating with yourself. Okay, but I've got to finish this one assignment and then I can go play a video game. I've got to finish this one chapter of the book and then I can listen to a song. Negotiate with yourself, bargain with yourself so that you keep your attention as long as you should. And I think that might be it. That's all we got through. So if we go back to the beginning, the ones that we didn't do, goal-directed persistence really has to do a lot with sustained attention. It's being able to focus on something you want more and ignore what you don't want more in the short run. So if you want to go to college, then you need to keep making choices that will get you into college. Flexibility. When things go poorly, when they don't go your way, when they're not what you expect, learning to roll with the punches. I guess in a way this is the opposite of planning. Not really, but we all know that the world doesn't go the way we think it will. We're all in the middle of that. None of us thought that we would be learning from home and teaching from home for the last quarter of the year. And we need to be flexible and find the positive in things instead of letting it freeze us and shut us down. We talked about task initiation, sustained attention, emotional control, response inhibition. When you want to do something and you need to train yourself otherwise, this is your natural reaction. I would love to be eating chocolate all the time. If we have chocolate here at the house, which is actually, I'd rather we didn't have chocolate. That's easier for me. But when we have it, I have to inhibit my responses to be eating it constantly. That's just a small example. We're talking more about things like not slapping your brother when he acts a certain way, not doing drugs when your friends ask you to, not staying up late playing video games when you know you need to sleep, inhibiting your responses that are negative. I think replacement behaviors are good here too. And metacognition, being able to step outside of it, look at it and say, that's a harmful behavior and I need to change it. Okay, time management is like planning. Organization, tricky one. Maybe you'll just have to come back and be part of my class next year too, so that we can talk about organization. Guys, thank you for everything. It's been a good class. It's been a good year. I've enjoyed the time I've spent with you. I hope you finish out your school year very strong in all of your classes. I'm still here to help you. if you need anything. And if you watched this to the end, leave me a comment. Just tell me hi and bye or whatever you want, just so that I know that you made it through the video. Okay, thank you for coming to class, for being in the class, for letting me be your teacher. Thank you for coming to Wasatch Academy. I enjoyed my time with you. See you later. Have a good summer.